welcome back, guys, to the U.S. National Parks Cantrell Country Travelway Show. It's good to see everybody today. I know. Thank you for watching this recording. As you know, this will be the second. We're going to continue on with the Yosemite National Valley Park. Again, I encourage you to ask questions in the chat. As either I or one of my other hopefully one of my other hosts may pop in to be able to answer questions as we do these shows, or unless we're doing it live. But I definitely encourage you to ask questions about these parks because they are really beautiful. And I knew it was, I'm going to tell you, Richard, from the recording that I did the week before, the pictures I've seen it's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah, they're going to be,
and there's so much to actually do.
Yeah,
I knew it was a big park, but as I was going through, last week I went through tips and travel safety things, and other than that, down the section where it says planning your trip, different things you could do, safety trips.
This is one of the bigger parks that do have tours in the park.
It is the oldest one. And the first thing I do want to tell you is this. It is a park that is required. A reservation is required to get in.
Yes.
April through, in fact, what I'm going to read you now are the dates that you will need to definitely. Reservation is required from these times during this time. From April 13th through June 30th, a reservation is required from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays, Sundays, and on holidays, particularly May 27th and June 19th. July 1st through August 16th, a reservation is required from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. August 17th through October 27th, a reservation is required from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays, including September 2nd and October 14th. Driving through the park will also require a reservation if entering between 5 a.m. and 4 p.m. If you're planning to visit the peak hours, Please do not arrive before 4 p.m. Vehicles blocking roads will be cited. And then, of course, after October, you're starting to get into the winter months, and there's times where there's certain roads that will be shut down for the winter months for refurbishment, things like that. That's when they usually do their rebuilding of the roads, fixing things, and all that. So those are the dates that particularly, and I'll tell you, I love it. Last week, just to give you all an overview who might not have been able to catch this view, last week we went over, we pretty much went over the planning. We talked about if you go to the National Park Service, go to www.nps.gov/Yosemite. It'll take you to the National Park Service, but it'll show you the Yosemite. If you type in nps.gov/Yosemite, it'll actually bring up the Yosemite National Park on the NPS website, where you'll find the basic information, directions and transportation, eating and sleeping, places to go, things to do, calendars, safety tips, and of course, accessibility. In case you've got disabilities that you need accessibility help with. And of course, if you only speak Spanish, or people that might need help, there is a specific section that they can click on that will put it in Spanish for them.
Okay.
Last week, we talked a little bit about the news, fire information, and that. We didn't specifically go through that. But if you really want to read about fire information and updates, Yosemite blog, it actually talks about and this is all under the news one. This is you. If you click on about the park, this is where you can find this information. Click on it, you'll see news. You'll see um, where we were at last week. We were talking photos. We were looking at some of the photos. So we'll continue with that a little bit. Actually, I think you know what we'll do. We'll go. You can learn about history and culture, where you can. Just so much to read on this. And
Yeah.
I can't go through all of it. But before we go back through the photos and some of the cab websites and that, if you look at under the history and culture, you can learn about the people from the Yosemite Indians to the Yosemite's women's, the Hutchlings family, the Galen Clark, Thomas Hill. You know, there's just so much. In fact, what am I doing? I should be bringing this up so people can see. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share the screen because I know I can share this screen without getting into trouble.
Yeah.
So, there we go. So again, like I said, if you click on the Learn the Park, here you got plan your visit. That's all the information you need to plan a visit. You know, and if you have anything to throw out there, Richard, about planning, I don't know if have you ever been to the Yosemite National Park?
I have not.
You have not?
No.
Are you a big nature lover? Let me ask you that, because a lot of it, if you go to the parks like this, you love nature, and you know, especially if you love hiking and that. So going back, if you click on the Learn the Park, like I said, you click on news. There's all your news information. We'll go back to this section where it's got the photo gallery, multimedia presentations, and webcams. History and culture. We can't go through all this stuff, guys, but you know, history and culture. It'll talk about people. As you can see, it'll list about all the families and that have been throughout, that have been involved with the park throughout since 1864. It talks about the places within. I mean, obviously, you've got the Yosemite Museum, the Yosemite History Center, Yosemite Chapel, the Rangers Club, the Golden Crown Mine, National Register, Yosemite Then and Now. Here, you'll learn a little bit about the histories of the explorers and recorders, early tourism, lodging and preservation, early tourism roads and trails. Obviously, I will tell you this. Anybody that knows about the national parks, Roosevelt was the one that signed into legitimate law into the Department of the National Park Service because he was such a big park thing. I'm going to tell you now, as much as I have been involved with travel and tourism over the years, because I have, you know, when I first started in schooling, I should have stayed with it. That's actually what I was looking to do when a few years after I got out of high school.
Okay.
And Muir's name, John Muir, is a big name in the National Park Service. You are going to constantly hear it. He was a conservationist, especially if you take classes where you talk about conservationists. He is one of the big names in the early days of the conservationists from 1890s well into the early 1900s.
Yep.
Into the 20th century. Encroaching civilization, you know, I'll talk about that. Obviously, click on stories, you'll hear Mission 66, concessions history, Anawani Naval. What? They got a naval hospital there? Oh, I'm going to have to go read that one. See, I did. It's got a naval hospital there. Don't know if it's still there, but you can out of the collections, you look at archives. These are things
the museum. They do have one there. Yes.
The what?
Museum that is at that.
Yes, they do have a museum.
Yeah.
The Yosemite Museum. They actually, I think they got two different types of ones.
Yes.
But the Yosemite Museum is the big one.
Museum of History, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Museum.
Yeah, I don't know. They just call it the Yosemite Museum. So I don't know if that's the same one you were talking about.
I think so. That's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like 2 or 3. But I'm going to tell you guys, if you really want to learn about the park, these are the things that you want to check out. I mean, going back under learn about the park, you can learn about the natures, the plants, the species, the algae, the ecological.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you're going to go to this park,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Richard, but I fully recommend that you read some of these things, understand it. Because the one thing you do want to understand about the rules is that if you go to these parks, leave it as you find it.
So of course.
Make sure you clean up after yourself. Because it does hurt the environment. It hurts the natural habitat for the wildlife. And you know what? It hurts other people that come behind you that want to see the natural beauty in that. Obviously, it'll talk about education where they
field trip,
learning, self-guiding visits. You can
self-guiding visits. So you don't have to take a tour. You can go in there without taking a tour also.
Yeah. But one thing I will tell you automatically, and like I said,
you'll get more out of the tours.
You've got to have a reservation to get into the park.
You got to have a reservation. Yes.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what this, and I read this on the website. If you really want to get into the park earlier, I suggest you go either early morning or late afternoon, because you can expect 2 to 3 hour waits to get in, even if you're driving into the park.
Yeah.
Kids, they have the junior ranger thing. Obviously, management, you can use the visitor use and impact monitoring, park statistics. If you want to know what the laws and policies of the parks are there, and of course, then you got the park store.
Yeah.
You got, and then
wilderness.
You got wilderness. All right, we're going back to the photo gallery. We'll go back and pick up. So obviously, and obviously, we'll talk about getting more involved in the park if you're interested in that. Towards the end, we'll go over that. Now, I did go through the historical images last week. We had started going through some of the natural beauty of the Hetchy wilderness.
The 30
wildflowers, yes. Well, shoot, some of these things I couldn't even pronounce their what they call the family.
Oh yeah, I don't try to look at family names.
Some of them have.
Yeah.
Let's see, where was I? We'll pick up at the comment.
I'll go with the name that they're used as, not the scientific name.
I mean, this is called to me. I mean, it's called a common media, but it kind of looks
media.
Like. I wondered if this was part of the sunflower type family, because it kind of looks like a sunflower.
They're a lot smaller. We have Megades over here.
Do you?
They're related a lot to those. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got the company vowels clover, which is, but the thing about it, look at,
yeah.
I'm going to try to
closely. It's hard to zoom in on those, but that one is close. If it looks like it might be closely related to the 4-leaf. It's a clover, so
right.
It's a cut-leafed owl clover.
Yep, and this one is the Death Camus Zygdianus venesis.
Good looking.
Kind of weird looking, if you ask me. It almost looks. It looks like a fly trap with white flowers on it. Is what it kind of looks like to me. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Wouldn't say it's beautiful, but it definitely remote. I would give it a remotely interesting on it for sure.
Nice.
And then here you got the Diamond Clarkia.
Yeah, Clarkias.
Yeah, that looks like purple trumpets. I think. Well, that one's an honor of Pete for his Baltimore Ravens.
Oh boy,
it is a unique flower. It is a unique flower. I will say that.
Looks
Have,
interesting. Yeah.
have you ever seen any of these flowers up in the state of Washington?
Some. We have our own flowers, but yeah, we have some flowers that we've
Well,
seen.
I would assume some of these flowers are out west, up towards their, you know.
Could be, yeah. I've never seen the purple ones around here, but
Have you seen any of these ones that we have looked at?
yeah, the yellow one at the very beginning we've seen up here.
The media one.
Yeah, we have medias around here. We have yellow, white, and red medias. So we have different
Oh,
colors
wow.
ones around here. So
Nice. And of course, here you got the Drapia Sistal. Kind of weird.
yeah.
I
So that is a lot of people go by a different name for that, which is a water trough plant, as I like to call it. A lot of the rain that comes down goes straight into the flower because it's shaped in a correct way that it soaks up all that water inside.
Oh yeah, you can see that. I would
Yeah.
assume that it may go through
Water
like
trough
the
flower. Yeah.
flowers there.
And then
The
it
petals
gets
part of the flower.
yep. And then you see a lot of honeybees going in there and drinking that water. So, yep. Water trough flowers.
Nice. Nice information.
Yeah. I've seen that name before. That's how I knew that was that one. It's based off of drapes. If anyone was wondering, that's the name of it was Draperia, and the name of it is based off of drapes that you would hang off your windows because it looks
Right.
like drapes hanging down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here we got a farewell to spring. It's a
Farewell to
Clarkia
spring.
Stony.
I've
Those
not heard of
flowers.
that one.
Huh?
I have never heard of that one. It looks like it's almost like a flower in a flower.
It does. But
Interesting.
I actually like those flowers.
Yeah, those are
actually
interesting.
beautiful. I mean, and I'm not a big green thumb person, but when I am walking through nature, I tend to pay attention to them because
Yes.
it is the beauty. It is the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And here you've got the gay pestome ladies.
Letus.
Oh,
Letus.
Letus?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. However you pronounce it.
So those, I've heard of them before, and they are really popular around Florida.
Really, I've never seen them around Florida. That's the crazy
California. They're drier climates usually, but not too dry. Those you might have remembered. Those were depicted in Alice in Wonderland as the flowers that spoke.
Yeah, I saw another one that was like that too.
Yeah, there's a certain breed of them that look like that. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes.
They look like mouths. Yeah. They actually do.
And here you got the Harlequin lupine silver.
The Stilsties. I've heard of Stilversty before. Now, they don't really flower out. They always look like that the whole year. They don't
really
bloom. Yeah, they don't.
Honestly,
bloom.
it looks like I'm going to tell you this from the picture.
They look like to me like it looks like buds the whole time. Almost.
Yeah, well, I was going to say from the picture, it looks like somebody took a book and flattened them.
Yep.
To preserve them.
And that's what they look like all the time.
They look like they're kind of flattened down the flower part of it.
Yep. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And of course, here you got the Harvest Brodia elegans.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
okay.
looking close. They're
interesting.
I've never seen them, but
nope, have not seen those before. Now, every state has its certain flowers that are popular around there. So,
yeah. Well, every state has its flower.
Yeah, every state has its own state flower too. So, yeah,
right. Texas
or state bird.
Texas has its cactus.
Yep.
Or that maybe that's Nevada, or maybe that's Wyoming or New Mexico.
Arizona. Isn't Arizona the cactus?
It might be.
Arizona's a cactus, I think.
It could be.
Yeah.
Um, but here you got the hetchy monkey flower.
Ooh,
Interesting one.
hetchy
Mimulus
hetchy monkey monkey.
flora.
Hetchy
Yeah,
hetchy monkey flower. Okay.
hetchy monkey flower.
Hetchy monkey flower. There's no Y at the first word.
Yeah,
Hetchy monkey
that's
flower.
what I said. A hetchy monkey flower.
Yeah.
That's the tongue. We need to try to get Mike to say
Talking
that one.
about tongue
That's the tongue.
twisters. Just try to
We
say
need-
scientific name.
We
Mimbulis.
need to get Mike to say that 5 times fast.
Mimbulis ficrulis. It sounds like you're trying to say Longardian Leviosa. It's all Harry
Like
Potter
that.
reference over here.
But again, I do like the colors and it's unique.
Yeah.
I like the purple and the yellow. It's got just enough white in it.
I know most monkey flowers have the green part. They have stickers on them, so they try to poke animals. The green up above the flower. It's the same flower.
You talking about the leaves where?
Yep, the leaves. They're
you
almost.
You see where my mouse is, right?
Yep.
That part where I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it looks
they're almost like a sticker bush.
You can see.
Yeah, you can see them kind of. They're little pokies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever you want to call them. This is a horse mint. I got
horse mint. We got a lot of that around here. Yeah.
That looks like nothing more than that blooming. What is that? What do we call those where you blow the leaves off?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that looks like.
Yeah.
That one's kind of a weird one there, but interesting.
Yeah.
And then here you got the Leysingia leptaclata.
Yep.
Interesting. It looks like it actually kind of looks like a crystallized flower to me.
Yeah.
There's not much to it, just simple.
Yeah. Now that one doesn't have that many leaves either, so
No.
It does have some. I know that.
And this is a live forever.
The Doya Samoyas. Okay. Pretty. Okay.
Yep. Never seen it. Weird looking, but kind of interesting at the same time. Lupinus sp.
Yep.
Now I've never seen these flowers, but they kind of remind me of some of the flowers I've seen up in Virginia on the hills.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably related. They could be.
Could be.
Yep. Kind of reminds me of what they call that around here? Milk plant. Whenever you break off the top, a bunch of white milk stuff comes out of the plant. Yeah. Milk plant.
Yep. Okay, we got the mock orange Philadelphia Lucy.
Yeah.
Lucy.
Those
are weird looking.
It could be popular around Philadelphia. I don't know if that is something to do with that, but I don't know.
I have no idea. I've never seen
Philadelphia. I don't know. Has it in its name?
But these, what we're showing you guys is you're seeing photos of what flowers you would see throughout the Mariposa Grove and the Yosemite National Valley. This is just that. And these flowers are not located to one specific part of the park.
No,
they're the
whole
throughout the whole national, Yosemite National Valley.
Yep.
Including the Mariposa Grove.
Yes. Monkey flower? Yeah.
Nah, this is the narrow leaf mule ear. Hey, I didn't know they had a flower named after that.
Yep, mule ear. Now, these kind of reminded me of sunflowers. They're not as big, but yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of a bigger one. Yeah. I mean, that was like the other one. That was like the smaller version of the sunflower. This one is like the bigger version of the sunflower.
Yeah, it's not that big, though. I don't know.
And I wonder, my question is, I just wonder if it's all part of the same, It
could be the same family name, yeah.
Plant family is what I'm thinking. Because if you look at the leaves, it's got the sunflower leaves are
different kind of leaves than the sunflower does. Yeah. Narrow leaves, mule ears. Okay.
All right. And this is the owl's
Owl's
clover.
clover.
Castellaja. Weird. That one. That actually, I would have think they would have called that a porcupine flower.
Yeah.
It just looks like the spikes on a porcupine, if you ask me.
They do.
I mean,
We have quesadillas over here, but not that color. So ours is mostly yellow and white.
Okay, so this flower comes in. So this one has different color.
Yeah, it could be.
This one is a purple and white, so maybe it. I don't know.
It might be the white one. Yeah.
And maybe it has something to do with the climate. Maybe it has something to do with the climate that affects the filter within.
Yep, because you have to remember where I live is basically a rainforest. So,
yes. So it may have something to do with the may it have the dry air in that may it do something with the color filter within the plant. Maybe.
Yeah.
And this one is a another Castella. Well, there's another.
It's another Castella. We have a few Castella.
Have you seen these?
No, I have not seen those. It kind of reminds me of those big leaf plants that are in the rainforests, though. They have little flowers in the center. I don't know what the name of those are, but it reminds me of those.
It's kind of weird looking. I mean, I like the color on it. It's just enough. It's like between a red orangish color. At least from the picture. Yep. I mean, I'm not saying that's what it is, but
yeah, it looks cool.
Weird look.
Yep.
A pale larkspur.
Yep.
Interesting. It looks like a big.
Some of those Hennessy's. Yeah.
It actually looks like the trumpets for the Ricola.
Yeah.
But interesting. I mean, I like because of it. The colors make it look really unique.
I bet you it's related to that flute plant that we were looking at, and they store something in there like honey, or the plant.
It could be. It could be. Yeah.
And I know a lot of flowers do grow, so they have some kind of barrier, so other animals will not see, like the bees when they go in there. It'll be like protected almost.
Correct.
And that's what that is. It has a little bit of a lip, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, something like that. Now here's a Parishis Yampa, a Paradia Parishi.
Good luck with that name.
Yeah. What do you think of this one? It's interesting. Kind of reminds me of a wild. I'm trying to think of the name flower because of the way the flower is stacked up like that. But it
reminds me of those bushes that live around here a lot.
The what?
We have a bush around here that almost looks like that, but it's all the way yellow and it covers the whole bush. And it looks like that almost. Around here, it's called witch's broom. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right. Pride of the Mountains. Pestamion Newberry.
Newberry eye.
That is an interesting flower right there.
The Newberry eye. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That kind of looks like those ones that look like they had faces, but they're just purple. If you look close.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here you got a purple milkweed.
Milkweed.
Well,
we have milkweed around here and a lot of it.
So you have seen this one.
You break
same
off the
color
top,
or
not the color. Ours is yellow usually only. So I think it just matters on where it's growing.
Just because of that, it's telling me that the weather has something to do with all that.
The weather has something to do with it, yeah. And I think in those kind of work with that, where you can kind of see the stem and it kind of gets thicker and thicker towards the bottom. And then when you break off the top, you can see oozing white milk coming from the plant. Now, does not taste good. I was a young kid. I decided to try to eat some of that. Nope. Do not eat that.
I wouldn't even be trying them. Here we got small flowered alum root.
Now, I was about 3 to 4 years old when that happened, so you can't say anything.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
I was a young one. Yeah.
So there's your experience, everybody. When you
Exactly.
When
Don't eat
not
the milkweed.
Don't try that. Do not try this purple milkweed thing.
Yeah, ours is
not
yellow.
Have milk in it.
Yeah,
it does not have milk in it.
No, they don't. That's a plant.
All right. Here you got a small flowered alum root. I'm not even gonna try to come in.
Okay.
Pretty.
I can see the flower very little. Those look like they might. That might be one of the plants that grow better in the mountains. It looks like.
Could be.
They do have hills over there.
Oh, what, in Yosemite? Oh yeah.
Yeah. They have some famous mountains. Really.
This is a soap plant. That's just weird.
Yeah. I love the names. Just don't eat it.
Yeah, I wouldn't try doing that.
No.
This is a sticky cinquefoil potentialia glandulosa, whatever it is. Either way, it's kind of unique. So we're actually, because and that goes to show you. So if you really love nature, I'm telling you, these are some of the best parks to go to. And really, if you love to hike through the natures and through the mountains, and and every again, when people would just stop to take a minute, breathe, this is the kind of stuff you would see.
Yeah.
I mean, this world has gone too much to fast.
Oh yeah. That's the city life. What can you say?
And here you got the tincture plant. Now that's another weird one.
Looks interesting. Okay.
Here you got a very leaved jewel flower strephonous.
Jewel flowers. Yeah. I think they forgot to put a quotation there.
Yes, I think so too. But either way, it's still a weird looking flower.
Yes.
Unique, but where it never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Compare it to. Here you got a white Brodea, Tricaria hyacinthina.
Yep. I've heard of them.
That is a pretty flower.
Yeah.
I like the color. But again, just forewarning, guys, don't try to be like Richard. Don't go eating the flowers.
Please don't. There's some flowers you can have. I would recommend maybe if you really do want to try one, go for a rose flower if you can.
Yeah.
They're edible. Come on.
Might be edible, but make sure it's okay with
they're edible
before you start picking.
Yes. Yeah.
And
if you're going towards a rose, do not put your fingers around the stem because it has sparklies on it.
Well, now here's a beautiful one. The white metal
foam.
Oh, those are gorgeous. Those almost remind me.
Yeah.
Those remind me of certain
Lemnithius alba.
They kind of remind me of some lily flowers.
Lemnithius alba. Those are pretty.
Yep. And of course,
yarrows. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely looks like a bunch of dandelions to me.
Yeah, dandelions.
That actually looks more like a weed than it does a plant.
Yep.
But then even
there's some areas that would have that.
Dandelions are even plants, so I mean, Yerba Santa, interesting. And I do like the things because, and again, the purple and the white are interesting. Yeah. I like the way they form out. They do, again, some of these kind of look like the ones in Alice in Wonderland when she was in the
gardens exactly. Yep. That's the one Disney movie we can reference.
Yes.
For flowers.
This is a yawning penstemon. Weird looking.
It does look like it's yawning, by the way. The
It does.
whole flower.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. It does look like yawning. Okay. Anyways, guys,
Itchy will flower. Okay. That was
now
fun.
let's go to, and of course we'll tell you what. We're going to take a look at some of this stuff, guys. This is Yosemite trip planning.
Yep. And there's your chewers a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. Here you go. It's about a 6-minute. We'll go ahead and do this. We won't go through all these.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit of description of the Yosemite. And since this is a national park and the NPS, I don't think it would be a problem.
Welcome to Yosemite National Park. Yosemite is famous for its spectacular cliffs and waterfalls, giant sequoias, granite domes, and world-class scenery. You may only have one day to see this place, and we hope to help you make the most of it. First, here's the big picture. Yosemite Valley is just one sliver in a vast park. Nearly 95% of Yosemite is wilderness, where there are no roads, no buildings, and where nature is dominant. Driving times may be longer than you might think. For example, getting from Yosemite Valley to the high elevations like Tuolumne Meadows takes about an hour and a half. Traveling from Yosemite Valley to the park's largest sequoia grove takes almost 2 hours, an hour for driving and another 30 to 60 minutes to catch a shuttle or hike. So you may not be able to see everything in just one visit, but you'll be able to see plenty. And there's a lot to do just in Yosemite Valley, which is the most famous and popular part of the park. Starting in Yosemite Village, there are restaurants, gift shops, and a grocery store. We have a welcome center where you can plan your trip and an exploration center that's a great place to learn more about the park. There's a museum, a gallery, and a reconstructed Indian village where you can explore the culture of Yosemite's first people. To see Yosemite Valley beyond the village, you can use your car, but during the busy seasons, parking and traffic can be difficult. Free shuttles are a great alternative. They stop at most of the valley's main trailheads and attractions. Some stops are only separated by a 10-minute walk, and shuttles can have long wait times on busy days. So walking and biking are also great ways to get around. If you don't have a bike, you can rent them spring through fall. Lower Yosemite Fall is near Yosemite Village and has a shuttle stop. Here, there's a famous 20-minute walk to the base of the fall, and one of the 2 routes is wheelchair accessible. All waterfalls dry out or run low by late July or August and won't return until late fall or winter, so adjust your expectations accordingly. Another classic Yosemite Valley walk starts across the road from this same shuttle stop. The Cook's Meadow Loop is wheelchair accessible and winds its way through stunning scenery. Help protect wildlife by not approaching animals or giving them food. And please stay on the trails to protect nesting birds and rodents hidden in the meadow grass. Shuttles also stop at Happy Isles, where you'll find an art and nature center and enchanting strolls along the river. A short walk across the bridge is the trail to Vernal Fall. Hiking to the top of Vernal Fall and back is a steep 1.5 miles each way. For your safety, please stay fully on trails. Creeks and rivers here can be cold, swift, and deadly. Another stop is the trail for Mirror Lake, which is actually more of a meadow except in spring. You can hike a mostly flat mile each way to the lake or meadow. You can also do a 5-mile loop below Half Dome. If you want to venture outside of Yosemite Valley, we have 3 suggestions. The first one is right here at Glacier Point. This is a 1-hour drive with incredible views. The road to Glacier Point is usually open from sometime in May until sometime in November. Remember that you're driving in wildlife habitat, so staying under the speed limit will help save wildlife. You may see signs throughout the park where bears have recently been hit by cars. Also, be aware that the Glacier Point parking lot often fills up midday in June through August, so try to visit before 10 a.m. in the summer. Our second suggestion is the Mariposa Grove of Giant Sequoias. It's just over an hour's drive from Yosemite Valley to the parking lot. From there, free shuttles take you to the grove from around March through November. Or you can hike to the grove on an uphill 4-mile round-trip trail. Once there, you can enjoy the main wheelchair-accessible loop or venture on longer explorations to quieter parts of the grove. On your trip back from the grove, you can stop in Wawona to visit the Yosemite History Center and learn about some of the people who shaped the park's development. The last destination beyond Yosemite Valley that we'll mention is the furthest, Tuolumne Meadows. This 1.5-hour drive on Tioga Road takes you through beautiful scenery to the Sierra Nevada's largest subalpine meadow. Tioga Road is typically open from May or June until sometime in November. These meadows are fragile, and we ask that you stay on the trails, leaving only footprints and taking only pictures. We hope we've given you the information you need to plan your day. These are just a few of the options, and you won't be able to do them all. But remember, whatever you choose, wherever you land, you can't go wrong. Have a great day and enjoy your park.
And again,
That was perfect.
what you guys are seeing here. Yeah, and here's the thing about it.
Yeah,
that
it's perfect.
They're right. That video right there shows you guys just how beautiful that whole park is, and there's so much to see and do. I mean, honestly, we could spend, and I don't know, I thought about maybe doing it a third week to cover as much as we can, because even with what's there, we cannot cover it all on this show. I mean, that's just how big this park is. And you heard it you heard it yourself that park, guys, is mostly nature habitat.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but we may do a third week on this one.
Especially with some of those videos, but we'd have to be.
There's even hiking.
Definitely.
I would like to do these 2 videos. Visiting Yosemite in the winter and experiencing Yosemite, and then do 1 or 2 of this about protecting the park. Definitely the safety and hiking.
Very cool.
We could actually turn this into a 3 or 4 week on Yosemite.
Yeah, we could.
It might be something we might have to come back to, but I'm thinking I may do this. I may do 1 more week of this, and then we may come back and visit this park later on in the year.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of good information.
That's what we needed to round it out with. So we're happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
I'm going to do this. So if you'll give me 1 second, we will be back. 2 and 2, guys. Remember, my name's David Cantrell. I am the agent and owner of the Cantrell Country Travelway. This does support, these shows are supported by my business. If you are looking to travel domestically, I do domestic travel from the national parks to theme parks to river cruises to, major cruise lines
Yep.
to European travel to exotic country travel. Give me a call. The links will be in the description of this video, as well as I will be giving credit to the NPS, Yosemite National Park. But check out my information, guys, and here's the video. We'll be back in 2 and 2. This is the Cantrell Country Travelway. I'm the agent and owner, David Cantrell. If you're looking to travel through the U.S. national parks or maybe to the waterways from beaches to ocean cruises, let the Cantrell Country Travelway help you find your magical vacation. All right, guys. Welcome in, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yes. So as you guys can see, there's so much to explore and do. And we are going to probably continue one more week on it. Because there's so much more videos we can show you over the next week. And this is just a continuing, like I said, if you want to get the full scope from planning a trip to all the way down to seeing what you're thinking. First, go check out last week's video, which played. That was the first part of it, which I talked about a little bit of the safety, and I went over some of the stuff, and we talked about a little bit of the actual history of the park. You got to see pictures from the early days of the park. So I think you will enjoy it. Honestly, this is one. It's more beautiful than I can imagine. I've only heard stories about it. I've never been able to experience myself, but more I see of it, I want to experience. Anything you want to add, Richard? I mean,
nope. It was this has been a good video. So
make sure you guys contact me. I do want to say, check out my partner, Bloomin' Cheesa.
Yeah.
He's got a good Disney, and don't forget to check out the rest of my shows on when, actually we'll be switching it to Tuesdays.
Hopefully Tuesdays. Yeah.
We'll have to do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for my Disney shows on my Space Mountain Dave Cantrell channel for the Disney shows. The other ones are the other travels, as well as the new show that's on Friday night. So I got a packed full week of videos.
Yeah.
But that's because I love to do traveling. I want everybody else to experience travel. I want to help you find that magic. So again, you'll be able to find the links in this. And I will most likely be in chat when this video plays so that I can put the links into the chat as well. Again, reach out to me if you got questions, or if you want to plan a trip to one of the national parks, or even a Disney cruise, a cruise line trip, trip to Europe. So reach out to me.
Reach out to him.
Guys, I'm going to say, Richard, thank you for being here tonight. It was interesting. I mean, I know you've been to some parks, so I know on some of the shows you'll be able to say a little bit more, but
it's fine.
Not much that either one of us can say, since we haven't exactly experienced it, but we can show the experience you can have. And with that, I will say, let the Cantrell Country Travelway help you find that magical vacation.